I thought I'd just make like a chat video today. I feel like I haven't really done a YouTube video in a while. Maybe it was only last week, but I think because we were sick and stuff, it just feels like really broken up. Yeah, this morning I just went out for coffee with two friends and it was really like uplifting, and it just felt like a really nice start to the day. And then after that I got my writing done. I went to Cafe Nero and I wrote like 2,000 words of the second book of my, it's like a book called Mortified that I put out recently about like all the ridiculous moments with kids and the funny things that have happened to us. So it's just like a sequel to that I'm writing at the moment. And I just published another book this week called Don't Be Afraid to Create. You can get it on Amazon, paperback or ebook, and it's basically like a kind of guide to help you get creatively like unblocked. Like if you don't really know where to start, or you've always wanted to create things but you just don't feel like you know where to begin with it, or if you do regularly like make things but you just feel a bit lost or like you're lacking inspiration, it might be helpful with that. And it's basically about getting rid of all the limiting beliefs you have around creativity and your ideas, and like valuing them and being able to recognize like whenever you have good ideas and like running with them kind of. So I actually don't have a copy of it in the house because it's on Amazon and KDP, and I haven't ordered a copy yet, but I've seen what it looks like online and everything. So yeah, and I got my first review today. So I have this like really loyal reader who, she's always like the first person to buy my book when it comes out, and she's always reviewed it within like 24 hours. Like she's just such a voracious reader, and I don't know how she reads so quickly and writes such like detailed reviews, but she's great. And yeah, like today I just decided that since one of my kids has a cold that I'm not going to drag them to the swimming pool for swimming lessons later. One of my kids is actually going for swimming lessons with the school today anyway, so it just felt like needless running around. And I saw like honey chili chicken in the shop, and I really wanted to get it for dinner because I've just been craving Chinese food so much recently. Yeah, I decided to try to make my own because I knew I had chicken breasts in the house and I've never made it before, so I just thought I would experiment with it and see what happens. And I found a recipe. Actually the ingredients were kind of different to what I would have expected. Like it had lime juice in it and sriracha, and yeah, if I tried to make it up on my own I probably would have done like soy sauce and honey and chili, but not thought of that. So I'll see how it works out later, and I'll use my deep fryer. My mum gave me a deep fryer and I've kind of got addicted to it. Like it's just, I don't know, it just produces chips that are so nice, and I probably use it far too often now, but it's really handy for stuff like that, or if you want to do like a fake away. I'm reading this book at the minute, which I mentioned in my blog post. It's by Kate Singh and it's called All That Changes from My Front Porch. It's like a journal that she wrote over a year, and she basically is just writing about like homemaking, like her thoughts on like bringing up her kids and like gardening, saving money. It's just like, it's basically like her YouTube channel Coffee with Kate, but in a book. So my sister and I were laughing about it together because I said that it doesn't have any page numbers in it, and that's something that I like kind of worry about as a self-published author, is like when you're doing the final like sort of finishing touches on your book, is there anything you've missed? And there's such a long checklist that sometimes it feels like you're bound to miss something really important, and that just feels like something I would do too, is like leave out page numbers. And it sounds like such a kind of insignificant thing, and I can see how you would forget so easily, but it just really made me laugh because it's like basically a bookmark is really, it's just essential with this book. And it's kind of funny because it's like 400 pages long, so if you lose your page you really would be screwed and you wouldn't be able to find it again. But yeah, it's just like one of those little like quirks that comes along with Kate's thing, and I just like, it makes me love her more because it's just like really human and like funny that she has these moments that I also have that are just like a little bit ridiculous. And I was writing about that today in my book, about how so many things seem to happen to me and the girls that are just like laughable and I don't know if they don't really happen to other moms as much, or if it's just that they don't talk about it because they wouldn't want to share the like embarrassing moments with people. But I just feel like there's always something silly happening to us, but it's really unlikely, but like it just always ends up happening. But I won't wreck it because I'm going to put examples of that in the new book. And like, I don't know, I just want it to keep secrets for the story. So yeah, and it's been so cold in Northern Ireland, and yeah, like it actually started snowing a little while ago, and I kind of didn't expect it, even though it's like 1 degree or something. But yeah, like it started to lie, but it's now stopped. So I think my kids might be disappointed when I get home, because they just like live for snowball fights and building snowmen, but we don't actually get that much snow here. And a friend of mine was saying like it's probably because we're quite close to the sea, we just don't really get that much snow, or if it does fall, like it doesn't always lie, or it's only on the hills. But I actually quite like snow, and I'd prefer it to ice because it's started to become like an ice rink again outside, and I'm a little bit scared of it now after breaking my hand before Christmas on it. But I'm hoping it's unlikely that it'll happen twice anyway. But yeah, I still haven't got my what's the word, splint off, because it doesn't seem to have fully healed, and I think I have to get a scan. So yeah, the main thing that's bothering me about it is that I can't paint. Like that's the only thing that's really annoying me now, because I've kind of adapted to it, and at least with like it not being in a cast, I can still kind of use it. So yeah, it's not too restrictive. But yeah, I'm just like dying to paint, and I hope that whenever I take it off that my hand will kind of return to what it was before, so that painting and things like that aren't really awkward to do. Yeah, and I actually have a half finished painting that I started right before Christmas, and it's like holly, but I feel like by the time I get round to actually being able to finish it, it's going to be like seasonally like inappropriate, because it'll probably be springtime by then. Yeah, and I don't know, like this week I don't feel like it's too busy, and I feel like that's much better for my mental health. Like I just get very overwhelmed if there's too much going on at once. I love to see friends and meet up and stuff, but if like I'm meeting up with more than like a couple of people a week, it just gets like my head starts spinning and I can't keep on top of things at home, or get time to write. And that's another thing, like I find if I get the time to write, it feels like, I don't know, I just feel more peaceful about things because it's important to me, and I like to do my daily word count, and that kind of means I can clear headspace for other things. I've also been working on decluttering the house because I just felt like it was getting overwhelming. Like I just naturally seem to accumulate so much clutter, and I just don't know where it even comes from. And I think with kids, like they're just always bringing stuff home from school, so even if you're not buying anything, it just kind of gathers like without you meaning it to, and it just felt like the toys were getting out of control as well, and there were things that they weren't playing with. So I've just gradually been selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace and like giving stuff away, and I just feel like it's much easier to clean the house at the moment because of the lack of stuff. And I kind of would have told myself for years that I needed to have clutter around me to feel like inspired, and that it's just part of being creative and kind of having chaos around you. But I actually think that's kind of a myth, because since having like less stuff, and I still need to work on this because like I could still get rid of plenty more, I just feel less distracted, and I feel like I've got more time to sit and write because I'm not constantly looking at piles and thinking like, when am I going to tackle that? So I do think that like cleaning your house is really good for your mental health, and even though you might not feel like doing it sometimes, like it's really important. And just like having clear surfaces as well, like I don't know why, but when the kitchen surfaces are completely covered in stuff and I can't find an area to even like chop food, I just get really stressed by that, and I just think it's better to just have like space to think and be able to live without tripping over everything. So yeah, those are the main things I'm doing at the moment, and thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.